Alright guys, back here with another video, and this time we're going to be doing an update for my cooler mill. Before we get into that, I want to make sure you guys are smashing the like button, leaving comments below, and if you guys really want to see a different version of this deck, including unisons, which I will be working on as well, I'll make sure you guys leave comments below. Also, check out the links in the description. This is one of our play mats we make. We make customs. We also do gaming setup play mats, rubber mats. We're going to do custom deck boxes soon. Also, you can always support us by checking out our Shopify and ordering a T-shirt. Our Take Flat T-shirts are really cool, and we also do hoodies and stuff like that. And you put your name on the back, whatever you want. And you can also request a jersey if you just want to support us. Just reach out to me on Facebook or email airfairgaming@gmail.com. But let's go and get into it. Leader, if you don't know what he does, when you attack a leader, you draw one card, and then whenever you reduce the power of one of your opponent's battle cards during either player's turn, you get to mill one. If it's your opponent's turn, while it's on this side, you draw one card the first time you do it. And that effect to make a mill is not once per turn. And when you're at 4 less life, you untap one, draw one. On this side, you do the same thing, but you can attack anything and draw one card. And if your opponent, you also get the mill and draw one during both players' turns once per turn, and then you get the mill as many times. But yeah, the leader is really, really cool, and it's been out since set 9. Just one of my favorites. Death's Embrace, we got 3 copies of it. This is your 1-drop cantrip draw card. You get also potentially minus 10 your opponent's leader or battle cards, not once per turn, paying red energies. Really cool card. But it's not as necessary anymore. There's too many things to remove little 1-drops. 3 copies of your Dread Ambition Frieza. This is a promo that is swap 2 for free. And it's a counterattack when you play this card in rest mode. Mainly, this is a searchable negate that can also be comboed. It's really nice. You don't want that many negates in this deck, but you do need some against certain matchups and certain things. And in the upcoming format, post-ban list, you're going to have to worry about leader swings, especially against green. You got 3 copies of Android 17 Calm Judgment. This is a new card. When it's played, look at top 5 cards. Grab any red-blue card in your deck, because nothing is over 6 costs. This card is sick. And the only thing that's bad about this card, if you're playing the Unison build, which I do side Unison a lot of times when I'm at locals, or whenever I'm anywhere, because sometimes Unison build is really good, so you decide the Unison package. This card doesn't really fit well with the Unison build outside of searching your super combos, because you do not want to charge blue ever, because you really need the red energies. You got 4 copies of Energy Blight. This is your check land. You can also swap into this with your 1-drop negate, which recycles the negate, which is really cool. But this card also has an attack minus your opponent's leader by 5k, or your opponent's battle card. So it's nice. Can trigger your mill. Yeah, 4 copies of Beerus Super Combo. This card allows you to restand a red blue energy when it's comboed. So be mindful whenever you're charging and using your energies on your turn, so that you have at least one to restand with this. And you have 4 copies of Majin Buu, Friends Forever. This is minus 10 draw a card when it's played, and draw another card with your leader effect, really strong. And then in return, it can return one red or blue battle card and play back to your hand, which is really cool. Forward Shield, this is your free combo red-blue card. It's also a rival for 2, which is really nice. Minus anything 15k, ignoring barrier. And then you look top 5, grab any of your Frieza clans. Really strong card. And 4 copies of Tyrannical Assault. This is potentially mill 3 when it's played, because it hits 2 cards, ignoring barrier, minus 10. Really strong card, and only costs 1 to a rival. It's also a double striker that can help pressure your opponent's Unison or life. Your last arrival card, 1 copy of Cooler Suffocating Tyranny. This is a rival for 3, minus 25 when it's played or attacks, and also when it also mills them 1 per swing and play. Really strong card. It's also a triple striker that can kind of end the game. End of turn, you can return this back to your hand and restand one of your red blue. Really cool card. To your generic reds, we got 4 copies of Facing the Android Terror. This is your SGR. When it's played, when you're at 4 less life for 1 energy, you get to minus 10 your opponent's 7 or less cards on board, including Unison. And if it hits 5 or more against 10k and double strike, which never happens because your opponent always tries to keep things off the board, but it can potentially hit a lot of cards. It can also just be used on your turn, activate battle or main, and this as a 1-cost cantrip makes your opponent mill, which is one of the big parts of this deck. If your opponent gets stuck on Z battle cards, you can just keep hitting it for 10 as many times as you can. It's really nice. And then 2 copies of Gohan defeating the demon. I tried 3. I didn't like this card. Doesn't come up as much because you don't generate that much Z energy that quickly. And it also is unique. And 3 copies may be added. I don't know. A 3rd copy, that is. But the card is really hard to use sometimes. It is a counterplay for 1, double strike, and blocker, and it minus something 20, which is really good, but it's iffy in this deck because you can't feel your Z energy that quickly. 3 copies of Test and Opposition. This is your token to negate. Helps you get from 5 to 4. A lot of times people try to keep you at 6. You'll just take 1 life with your Z battle card, and then you take 1 with this on the next swing, which helps you get to Awaken. You really need to get Awaken so you can start attacking things that are not leader to draw cards with your leader effect. 4 copies of Senzu Bean. This card is extremely powerful in this deck because of Arrival mechanic on your opponent's turn. You only really want to do it on your opponent's turn, so this card never really lost any of its steam. In your last extra card, you have 1 copy of We Are Universe 7. This is just an extra cycle or grab from deck of your super combo, which is really cool. But yeah, that's it for the extra cards. So basically it's a 5th super combo. You got 3 copies of Black Smoke Dragon. This is just generic. It also helps you draw cards, remove things that have a barrier that are 7 or less. It also lets you hit the unisons that have 7 or less markers, which is a problem for this deck as well, as long as it's 2-cost unison or less. 3 copies of Draw Ape. You don't want to clog on these, but you really want to see this in the early game. And then you got 1 copy of your Secret Rare Golden Cooler. You're playing Cooler. Why not play the Cooler? Secret Rare. This card is really broken in this deck, mainly because you don't like you want to equalize your opponent's hand advantage, because this deck is a grindy deck, but like sometimes you're in a position where like I really want to kill them, and this card has the ability to do so. To the extra deck, 1 copy of the Vegeta that takes life and helps you filter your cards. This card is really powerful in general, but in this deck specifically, you really need to really need to be able to play that card. Got 1 copy of the Defender of Life. This card allows you to win in time sometimes, which sounds silly. Knocking your opponent down from 4 to 3. A lot of times you go down to 3 because you're scared of this card yourself. But a lot of times your life just goes to 3. But if they don't put battle cards on board, but you do. So this will make it to where you win in time, which is funny. Also, it can just be a threat. 1 copy of Rush Attack Vegeta. You would think you play more copies of this card, but you hardly ever play it. Can maybe see myself adding a 2nd copy, but it's really hard to actually justify it due to space. 1 Area Annihilator. This card was really nice against matchups in the old format, but I'm not sure how useful it would be up in the upcoming format. But it's always good to have barrier removal. That's one of this deck's struggles. Then you got 1 copy of Cell. This card could just be game sometimes. 4 crit attacks is really crazy at the end of the game, or just even double crit. 1 copy of Android 21 in the Name of Hunger. I thought this card would be okay, but there were multiple times when I was playing with my Future Trunks deck as well as this deck where just having access to Z-Tech stack and going to this Vegito Godly Spirit, because it's triple strike for 4 energy, is actually kind of strong. Yeah, this is a really good card too. Never going to play this because you need 5 blue, but it's much easier to play this for 2 blue, and then you put that under, and then next thing you know, boom, you got the ability to have triple strike for 4 energy, which could come up. But yeah, smash the like button and let me know what you think. Also, stay tuned for more profiles. Deuces.